Okay, so have you ever, been scrolling through Instagram and thought, wow, this is getting kind of messy?
Oh, all the time, especially when it comes to celebrity couples.
Right. Like sometimes it feels like we're all living in some giant soap opera.
Yeah, and today's deep dive, we're going full-on drama mode.
We're talking about the divorce of Tubaba.
To Baba and Annie Idibia.
Yes. A Nigerian music royalty and a super well-known actress.
It's the kind of split that honestly has everyone talking.
Right. And we're going to dig into all of it based on an episode called The Unraveling of a Musical Union Tubaba and Annie Idibia's Divorce.
From the podcast Celebrity Chronicles.
Exactly. And just a super quick recap. Tubaba used to be known as Two-Face Idibia, right?
Right.
Huge name in Nigerian music. Annie Macaulay Idibia, also a big deal in the acting world. They've been a couple, forever in the public eye. Marriage, kids, the whole 9 yards.
And it's all played out on social media.
Literally. So the big question we're exploring today is, was this split a long time coming? Or is there something more unexpected going on?
Yeah, I mean, their history is definitely complicated. Let's just say that.
Totally.
Yeah.
So rewind to January 26, 2025. Tubaba drops this bombshell on Instagram. Separation, pending divorce, the works.
And he even promises to share, quote, his side of the story soon.
Interesting. It's like he's trying to get ahead of the story,
Oh, absolutely. That's classic social media strategy for damage control, right? Control the narrative before someone else does.
Yeah. But this isn't their first rodeo when it comes to public drama. Remember that whole kissing incident back in 2015?
With Tubaba and Pero Adeni, one of the mothers of his children.
Yeah. And then Annie goes off on social media in 2021.
And that's where things get really interesting, right? Like, what are the boundaries when it comes to airing relationship grievances online?
Seriously. Some people were like, go, Annie, stand up for yourself. But others thought it was way too much information. Like a lose-lose situation, almost.
Yeah, it's tough because on the one hand, infidelity is a huge betrayal. And to have it play out publicly, I mean, that's got to be incredibly painful.
Right, like you almost can't blame her for reacting.
Yeah.
But then does going public just make everything worse?
That's the debate, isn't it? Does it give a voice to the person who's been wronged, or does it just add more fuel to the fire? And honestly, in this case, we have to be really careful not to jump to conclusions.
Oh, for sure. But here's the thing that really gets me. Remember their 10th anniversary posts in 2022?
The photos, the loving messages, the whole thing.
It all seems so genuine. It makes you wonder, how much of this is for show and how much is real heartache?
That's the million-dollar question with celebrity couples. How much of what we see is just a carefully constructed image?
Right. And then there's the whole pressure of fame, maybe they felt like they had to project this image of the perfect couple, even when things are falling apart behind closed doors.
And that kind of pressure can be absolutely suffocating, I imagine.
Totally. And of course, the minute the divorce announcement hit, fans and other celebs went wild. Everyone had an opinion.
Oh yeah, that's just how it goes these days. Social media turns everyone into a relationship expert overnight.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But, it does raise some questions. Where do we draw the line between public interest and respecting people's privacy?
Exactly, especially when you consider the power dynamics. We're talking about celebrities with millions of followers who hang on their every word.
Yeah, it's not a level playing field.
And it's so easy to forget that at the end of the day, these are real people dealing with real emotions.
So true. It's not just entertainment, it's their lives.
Which brings us to the big question. What happens now?
Right. How does this divorce affect their careers, their public image, everything?
I mean, for Tubaba, his music career is already legendary. But will this tarnish his reputation?
And what about Annie? Will she be able to move past this and continue to thrive in the acting world?
It's really a crossroads for both of them.
Wow. This whole thing just makes me realize how complicated fame can be. It's like this double-edged sword. You get all this recognition and adoration, but you also lose a lot of your privacy.
And the pressure to maintain this perfect public image, I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So I guess the big question is, can true love really survive in the spotlight?
That's a question for the ages. And one that we might never truly have an answer to.
So much to think about.
Indeed.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thanks for listening.